I have been sent a thing. An absolutely amazing and awesome and incredible thing. And I'm going to talk about it in length. But first, some firing footage. Yeah. This thing is, oh, it's so cool. Okay, so what we have here is the C30A1 Photon from Cobalt Industries and Flywheel of the World. And this thing is just on a completely different level. It's just starting with the box. I've never seen anything in the Nerf community that involves a box quite this detailed and with this level of box art. I mean, it's just incredible. Here we have the front, Cobalt Industries. Some characters that I assume are from a webcomic or something. I don't know. It may be, I assume, where this blaster is from, given that they're holding it, or it may have been created specifically for this. I wasn't given a note, and the details are scarce, and I haven't been following it because I'm bad at things and a schmuck. But that is incredible. On this side, we just have more cool box art. On the top, we have cool box art. On the bottom, we have a hilarious disclaimer. Do not aim blaster at eyes or face. Do not modify darts or blaster. Small parts included. Do not ingest any of the parts. Do not combust or expose to corrosives. Do not leave unattended with children, pets, autonomous robots, or Naomi 2 patients prior to stage 3 treatment. And then all of the names and logos and all of that. On the back, we have some sort of what looks like a webcomic to me, or part of a comic, or I don't know what's going on. We'll see. Do you think the doctor will keep his word? Will he really let us go? I think he will, but we can't assume he controls everyone else here. Cryostay pods? Shh. What is that? It's our way out. He'll be okay. I have no idea what's going on. And then more awesome box art. And then finally, we have this one, the C30 Photon. And then what I can only assume are teasers for future products. I don't know what this is, but I want one. I'm really hoping it's a 3-round burst submachine gun because I want one of those so bad. Somebody in this hobby needs to make a good 3-round burst blaster for me. I want it. This one also looks cool. Right, enough plotzing about the box. Let's take a look in the box. What we have inside this amazing box is an amazing blaster in my colors. We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. And we have the 3 parts. So let's talk about each part. We'll start with the lower receiver, as it were. We have... It's in my colors, and it's got the auxiliary logo, which arguably isn't technically correct. I'm not technically in the crew auxiliary. I'm in the crew. But the fact that they took the time to put that on there, and it's just gorgeous, is really just incredibly cool of them. The scales are replaceable, so if I wanted to put either the crew logo or my own logo or the X-Strike logo or whatever, obviously I can do that, but that is just entirely too cool. It does have a flared magwell that is removable because there are mags that fit flush with it, have a cap that fit flush with the bottom. With the flared magwell, you can only use just regular Talon mags, but that is what it is designed to work with. The mag release is here on the back, interestingly. And at first I thought that would be a problem, that you'd accidentally, drop your mag just from holding the grip. But generally, most of the pressure is going to be here on the meat of your thumb, and it actually holds the mag release closed. And then you use your thumb to release it, or if you really wanted to, you could shift your grip by basically squeezing your pinky, and you'll then drop the magazine, which would just, take practice to work, but that's really cool. It then does have simulated blowback a little bit, which is just a neat feature. It's all part of the pusher mech that's in there, and that is, again, just cool. Picatinny rail on the top, though if you put a sight, it would move, which would be a little awkward, but it's Nerf, so I wouldn't imagine it'd be too much of a problem. We then will take a look at the next part, which is the upper receiver, which contains the motors, the switches, all of the wiring. It's all self-contained in this nifty little package, which you could hypothetically design a different lower for if you really wanted. I don't know if they plan to do that, but they definitely could. The battery is also housed up inside there, which is where this comes in. The battery doesn't have an easy way to come out. It doesn't have a battery door because that would have been a lot more complicated, I assume. And so instead, it's a custom battery that was made specifically to fit this blaster, and this is an extension cable for the balance cable on here so that you can charge the battery without having to take it out of the blaster, which is really, really cool. Now, it uses the really small, I think they're XT, I want to say 30? They might be a different number. And I don't know that I have a cable for my charger for that one. I could probably make one. I think I have some of those jacks. And if nothing else, I can definitely buy an XT60 to whatever that is adapter, and then I'd be able to charge it. But very, very cool. It has two switches. This one is the actual rev, and then this is some sort of a cutoff switch, a kill switch. I'm not sure why that's there. I assume some sort of a safety in case your the blaster starts to come apart or you don't have it in all the way. If that gets pressed, then it won't rev. But otherwise, it will, which is pretty nifty. I don't think anything contacts it. No, nothing's going to contact it while you pull the trigger. So again, not entirely sure what that is about, but it's pretty darn snazzy. And then to us, oh, the final part is the barrel, which also has rail on the bottom, so you could put a sight or a flashlight or a laser sight or something. But it simply slides in right here. Make sure to tuck in the wires properly, and then the barrel just seats, and then this simply goes on here. It all locks into place, and then you have a single spring-loaded pin that locks it all together. It's a dual-stage trigger, so partial trigger revs, full trigger fires, and it's one of the snappier dual stages I have ever seen. You saw the firing footage. It is, oh, you can hold it at the rev and then snap rounds all you want, and it's a short trigger pull and very responsive and comfy, and I love it. The final feature is, of course, this, which, as you can see here, is a magnet holster, which the fact that they included that with these is just entirely too cool. It's belt style, but I do primarily just wear a battle belt anymore. If I really wanted a Molly one, this is a standard attachment that I've seen on a couple of other items that I've been sent, so I'm fairly certain I could replace that with a Molly version if I really wanted. But yeah, that is just entirely too cool. I love the sci-fi look of it. There's a lot of blasters out nowadays that look fairly real if you had them in the right colors, or even just from a distance, but this one looks more like a phaser from Star Trek is where, this is kind of a look, and I absolutely love it. The little details that they have in the cosmetics, the fact that they made that a separate color that matches that detail, again, just looks so good. And very, very comfy. The single complaint, the only thing I have found to complain about is this curve right here, where your top finger is below the trigger right. That is just a little bit sharp, and I will just take a file to it and smooth it off. But that is the only thing I have found to complain about with this thing. It is just amazing and cool and snappy, and I'm gonna have so much fun with this. So I cannot thank you enough for sending this. All right, I know we started with firing footage. You guys want FIPS. Let's go talk FIPS, and then I'll take it out to the range and fling some foam, and then we'll talk about the performance. So here we go. Right, let's put some rounds through it and see what kind of FIPS we're getting. Gotta give me some FIPS. 130, 132, 126, 116, 118, 110, 100. So if you pull the trigger quick, it doesn't have quite as much time to rev. So if you let it rev, then you tend to get a little bit higher. But it's such a snappy blaster. Like, you'd think being dual stage, I've had dual stages that weren't good. This one is fantastic. It's, yeah, the snap on the trigger. I like a snappy trigger. Alright, see if we can hit anything with it. To the range! I want some pings! Gotta ping some stuff! Right, we're here on my range. Still need to get some stuff over in this corner. I've got some more frisbees and probably some more bottles, and still looking for options for targets, but got distracted by other projects. So, let's see. I forgot to put the bottles up! That will never do! There, they're up. Alright, can I hit something at 25? Yes! Can I hit a bottle? Yes! going right between them. Round's complete. I want to fire more. I'm gonna go pick up ammo. I lost no ammo. I love this new range. This thing is way too much fun. What do I want to hit? I want to hit a bottle on this side. Let's see if I can manage it. Oh, battery's getting low. Gonna need to charge it. Yep, definitely getting low. Tragic. I didn't charge it before I brought it out here. That was just the charge it had when it was shipped. So, gonna need to get the charging cable for it, and then there will be more range time. This thing is awesome. It's absolutely amazing. Let's go talk about it a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Back to the shop. So, yeah, coming in at the 130s was the highest that I think I've seen it. It's generally a little bit lower, especially when you're firing a little bit faster, so it doesn't quite have as much time to recover. But still, very good for some HVZs. Will allow 130. Afterwards, I think, is 120. Maybe I'll have to try it with different ammunition and see what happens. But definitely good for our local Nerf wars. This would make a fantastic sidearm for a half dart loadout. So if I was running a Caliburn or a Talon Claw or something like that, this would definitely be my go-to sidearm because of how just snappy it is and the fact that it takes the same magazines and ammo as that. Absolutely, absolutely love it. So I cannot thank the people who designed and sent me this enough. I'm really looking forward to what else they come out with. I will definitely get you guys more firing footage once I get the battery recharged. I will need to get that adapter so that I can actually plug it into my charger or figure out if I actually have that cable. I don't think I do. So I'd need to make an adapter or acquire an adapter, but entirely too cool. So thank you so much, and thank you guys for watching. Send these guys some love. I will have links if there are links. I'm sure there are links somewhere. But yeah, thank you.